Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Alex here. I wanted to do an update on my 1987 Humvee. I'm really bad at doing videos. Unfortunately, I did a lot of work on this thing already. And what I had was a red dot AC system I picked up a few years back. It's been sitting in storage for a while. And I finally got it mounted in here. A few problems that I came up with this unit was it wasn't working when I tried to turn it on, even though it was wired. Well, I didn't realize that the box itself had to be grounded. So that's one thing. The reason it's on a piece of wood is I kind of wanted to elevate it a little higher than what it was, and doing metal brackets and this and that, I just didn't feel like going through all that. So I had a piece of nice cedar that I mounted it on, and I'm just gonna fill everything around it. The back pad here got rotted away. There's a lot of water intrusion still, even though this thing is enclosed. So I have to figure that out. I'm going to put a lot of more insulation and insulate the front here. Insulate the doors. I'm trying to get it a little more quiet in here, and then with the AC, it's going to be a lot more comfortable if it's a lot quieter, because this is a loud truck. This is the 6.2 liter 3-speed. It doesn't, you're going about 60 miles an hour for top speed, which is fine. I mean, you're not really wanting to fly around town with this thing anyway, but it does work. It blows pretty good too. I mean, it's got a really strong blower in here, which is great. So what we're doing right now is vacuuming out the lines. Got everything up here kind of wired up and temporarily, in place. I gotta still secure things, cut zip ties off. But the other hard thing to find was this belt, or a belt that would work, because all the people that I was watching and trying to get advice on would not put the correct belt, and the ones that they put were not the correct belt. So this is a Goodyear belt, AX55. I think the length of it is a 57 or 56, and that's if you're going just around your fan and your water pulley. I guess if you got a longer belt and went around the pulley over there under your alternator, that would work too. I just didn't get to that point. The problem with this belt, though, even though it looks like it's correct, it is a little too thick. So you see how thin these belts are that are on this truck. Well, it's to sit farther down into the pulley itself. So down in here, if I can get this camera to pan a little bit. Let me see if I can get it to pan. I can't pan it. Anyway. It's rubbing very slightly on the chassis of the truck itself, even though it's, it's tight. But it's a very, very light graze, and I don't know if it's going to just continue to be a problem, but if it is, I guess I'll have to replace it. But that's as, far over I can get it, and tight as I can get the compressor. This is the Mad Dog, I think it's Mad Dog Customs bracket for the 6.2 liter. And this kit came with everything else, basically, except for the belt and the bracket for the compressor. And it's a plug-and-play kit. Everything's pretty much labeled. The only problem I had is I lost the installation manual, and it went bad, just sitting in storage. So I'm trying to figure out the ground situation. That was one ground issue with the box itself, or the blower. And then I just got to make sure I have my fans grounded properly as well. And I'm not sure if these kick on only when the compressor kicks on, because they're not kicking on right now when you turn on the AC itself, or the blower, I should say. But of course, there's no coolant or freon in the system, so the pressure switch is not triggering and telling all this other stuff to turn on. So as soon as I get this thing to vacuum down, and hold a vacuum, which is almost there all the way. We're going to wait another 20-30 minutes and then close the valves and make sure we have no leaks. And then we'll charge the system for the first time and get this thing going. This kit was $750 about 5 years ago. Unfortunately, the same kit, you can get it on eBay. It's like almost $1,400 now. It doubled in price. It's crazy. This is a double fan 24 volt system that goes with these military trucks. There are cheaper 12 volt conversion kits and ones that sit on the doghouse in here, or you can have a couple, you know, the blower unit right here. But when I bought this system and I saw how inexpensive it was, I was like, you know what, I want to get the good red dot system, and it was black. I went with the whole theming of this truck. But as soon as I get this thing running and blowing correctly, the doghouse, I'm going to take this stuff off. I'm going to insulate the doghouse with some padding that I bought, some black insulated padding. Go all the way around, kind of insulate it from the heat of the engine, because in a hot day in the summer, I mean, this thing radiates heat from the engine compartment. Fortunately, this 6.2 stays pretty darn cool all the time. Thank God, it doesn't overheat. Even with the hydraulic fan disengaged, this truck stays pretty cool. I'll probably do the same thing with the doors, because they're just, you know, it's just fiberglass. So I'll probably put some cut pieces and put it in here and make it look nice with the insulation. Insulate the inner walls here of the drivetrain. All this. The back's got to get a new pad, and I might insulate these toolboxes, because it's just painted black metal. This whole inside of this is aluminum. This is fiberglass. This stays. It's a little knocky, a little loud, but most of the road noise you hear is from down here and from the bottom, where the wheels are and tires and everything. So other than that, it's not a bad system to install. The tricky part is running the hoses underneath in the guide rails, go around over your drivetrain. You do have a massive transmission and a you know, the, what do you call it, transfer case. You have an exhaust, so you have to kind of go around your exhaust. You don't want your AC hoses rubbing up against the exhaust. I'm going to do a double check before I take this thing on a drive with my hoses, make sure they're all, you know, secured enough to where they don't pop off and rub or anything like that. Here we did cut some big holes here, and I put some rubber liner so they don't cut the hoses. But I think what I'm going to do is get some spray foam and try to spray foam insulate it and then cut it, you know, to make it look nice and clean, because those are pretty big holes there but you know, I wanted to get these lines through the hole, which I don't remember if I did that or if I pulled these through and then I crimped these lines on. But it's only been a week. Anyway, that's the progress on this. And then after we get this all squared away and it's excuse me, has a nice AC blowing in it, we're going to go ahead and re-sand down the entire exterior of this truck, and we're probably going to do a nice rhino liner spray coating. It needs new bushings for the hood, which I have already. And I'm even contemplating buying a fiberglass Ram Air hood, what do you call it, cowl here, which they sell online. Give it a little meaner look and more air. More air, the cooler the engine stays, and the cooler your air conditioning stays. So let's charge this up and see what happens. All right. All right. So we vacuumed the system, and then we charged it with R134, 4 cans, 12 ounces each. compressor started squealing really bad all of a sudden, and I thought maybe we overcharged the system, but it ended up being the tensioner bolt for the compressor kept loosening, so every time it got under tension it would squeal. This is blowing nice and cold. This inside unit here, you'll see in a second. You gotta drill holes all the way through the bottom, because for your condensation it goes right through. Right now we're super humid in Florida. There she is, working. That's great. Now we can drive the truck in the summer. Yeah, this bolt here is getting loose. I just spotted a leak here for the radiator reservoir. Easy fix. Anyway, that's it for this update video, guys. I'm going to try to do a good video on the whole revamping of the truck, giving it a nice paint job. I just don't know if I could do it now during the summer here in Florida. We get a lot of rain and moisture and storms, so and I don't really have much of a covered area for it to do it, but it's possible. I might do it slowly, just start taking things apart and take a couple of days that are dry and get it done. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. Thanks.